You know, I told you to tune in next week, but I thought I'd just go ahead and just do it now. Talk to you about the MWF, going down memory lane. So let's go to the year 1992. It was around June of 1992, or I had just gotten out of high school there. The following month, or May, graduated from high school, and it was like the middle, close to the middle to the end of June there of '92. I got a job at Daco's Family Restaurant, working as a dishwasher, busboy, and later on I became helped out to become a cook. I had been on the job at Daco's for about a week, and I went down into the rent center and decided I was going to rent me a camcorder, you know, just for the heck of it. I went ahead and rented a camcorder and brought the camcorder home, and a guy at the time that was a friend of mine, his name was Dan Cantwell. Dan's a fucking sad piece of shit anyway in his own right, but anyway, Dan had come over that one day, and I told him, I said, hey, he said, you not doing anything, are you? He said, no. And I said, well, I said, I got this camcorder. I said, go downstairs there and just basically record stuff. He says, alright. We went down there, and his little brother, Chris, I think he was about 10 or 12 at the time, somewhere in that area. He had come there and basically told Dan, I said, you know, I want to run some music in there, and we had a couple rooms down in there, and one room was secured off by a door. And I told Dan, I said, hey, I said, I'm gonna go in there and change into something. He's like, what are you doing, man? I said, nah, don't worry about it. I said, just go ahead and when I said to hit the camera to cue it, I said, you go ahead and hit it. Well, I had Chris come out, and I had Chris start talking about how he was new to the Massillon Wrestling Federation, that he got sidetracked and treated like a piece of crap from a guy named Spellbounder. Well, I had cued the music I had wanted, and told Dan to start rolling, or before I told Dan to start rolling, he getting rolling. Chris out there, and I come out, and had a pair of dark maroon sweatpants, dark maroon with like gray striped shirt, long sleeves, and a maroon ski mask on. I said a few words, and that was basically it. Then we done a couple other different little skits down there with me and Dan and whatnot. We played that stuff back, and oh man, we laughed and laughed and laughed, and we rewound that thing back at least 20 times. When I come out as the Spellbounder, Chris, he started talking. The words I said became the Spellbounder's trademark. Fucker, you want to take me on, brother? And that became the Spellbounder's voice and the Spellbounder's trademark, going around going, fucker, fucker, you want to take me on, brother? So, after that day, we basically moved up from the downstairs in the basement there to the porch on the outside, and we like I said, wrestled in the MWF under a lot of aliases for that June of '92 to early '95, maybe, I don't know, was that early '95? I think it was the end of '94. It was like a couple years we did the MWF. Had a lot of tapes out there, but Dan had become one of the biggest a-holes you've ever seen, and took all the tapes. I still have possession of a couple of tapes of what we had done, but other than that, most of the good stuff has been taken by Dan. We won't give really in much details about that, but that really there was, the MWF. Sean was guys like he was Gambling Gary Godiva. His character was based off of the man Ted DiBiase from the WWE or WWF, World Wrestling Federation, World Wrestling Entertainment, if you will. No copy infringements or any gimmicks like that. It was just something we were having fun with. Sean was also known as Marvelous Michaels, kind of like a Razor Ramon, Scott Hall deal, if you will. He was known as Dr. Electro, Master of Maneuvers. He was known as Sergeant Death, the sergeant from the U.S. Navy turned wrestler. I was known as Crazy Carl Kaninsky, man from the Massillon Psychiatric Center. I was known as the Punisher, Delbert Day Davis, the prisoner from the Stark County Jail in Canton, Ohio, and Chillicothe State Penitentiary in Chillicothe, Ohio. I was known as his twin brother, Delbert Day Davis, the Crusher. I was known as the Spellbounder, if I had mentioned that, BB Bruiser. I was known as Vicious Vic Vulgarian, Yosaki Yo Jugu, Yosaki Yo Jumbu. Dan, he was known as Terrible Terry, the Fire Starter, the Dream Master, the Grave Digger. I was also known as the Black Manta, if I hadn't mentioned that, the Black Manta. But Dan, he would always wear a mask. His guys would almost always wear a mask, and he'd always wear the same sweatpants whenever he'd come to wrestle most of the time. It was like maybe 9 times out of 10 he would wear the same sweatpants for every wrestler. We tried to change costumes. Sean and I and everybody, we tried to change costumes. My cousin John Huffman, he was Ming Zing Wang, and that character, folks, was something weird out of its own right. And he was Ming Zing Wang. He was Hollywood Jazz. He was a commentator, Jammin' Jason Johnson. And Chris, Dan's brother Chris, was known as the Thunderbird. Sensei Darkness was Ming Zing Wang's manager. He was known as the Dynamite Kid, which was basically off of a WWE or WWF wrestler. And we just basically had fun. We, like I said, some of the things we used to do was just off the wall crazy. We had a lot of wrestlings going on down in the basement, and we had a lot of we took a lot of things differently. We went out and done a few shots at the cemetery. I know it sounds morbid, but we really done a real good thing with the MWF, and I had a real good time doing it. It was really something that was well planned. We went out and just basically done a match, and we had I would do this guy's ring announcer, and Sean had joined in and done a ring announcer at one point for me, and we really had a good time with the Massillon Wrestling Federation. Like I said, some tapes are still available. If you want a copy of the Massillon Wrestling Federation, just let me know, and I'll see what I can do. I'll let you know the details of what you need to do to get a copy of these, and just watch something totally amateur but yet off the wall crazy and just absolutely funny. I guarantee you'll laugh. Right now, the capabilities of me doing that is a little slim because of circumstances. But if you want a copy of it, be patient with me, and I'll try to do what I can do to get a copy for you. But thank you so much for going down memory lane with me here at about the Massillon Wrestling Federation. And tune in next week when I'll have something totally and utterly different for you, as I always have, at the course of my lifetime, of 1979 to 1999, going down memory lane. Have a good week, and I'll talk to you all later now. Peace.